Just as the posters say, the mastermind himself, George Miller, is back with the prequel to one of my favorite films in Mad Max Fury Road. Y'all know what time it is. You seen the poster, you seen the graphic. We're jumping into my review of the new film, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today, we're going to be reviewing the new film, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, coming to theaters May 24th. I've been very excited for this one for a lot of reasons. Number one, George Miller. Number two, George Miller. And number three, George Miller. No, but seriously, first of all, I've been wanting more from the Mad Max Universal franchise since we go back to Fury Road, which released, I can't even believe how long it's been, but back in 2015. And seeing significant amount of footage. I want to say maybe 10 or 15 minutes at CinemaCon. It was considered an extended view. So whatever you want to call how long it was, and at CinemaCon, obviously seeing it on the big screen, getting to really hear the film and feel it. I was like, yeah, give me all of this. And, we'll talk about the cast in a second, but like, if you love Mad Max, which you should, and if you don't, fine. But George Miller is absolutely a visionary when it comes down to filmmaking. His style, his aesthetic, the way how visually and aesthetically pleasing his films are. But beyond what you see, you feel the action. And he has so many cool shots that I just love, and they're epic. And of course, with the time passing from 2015 to now 2024, you could only imagine it was going to get better, and it did. So from what I saw at CinemaCon, it got me hyped. I could not wait to check this out, and it absolutely delivered. I do want to start off by saying that the runtime of this film, you absolutely feel every minute of it. The film is long, and it's a little over 2 hours. I don't know exactly what the runtime is, but it's a little over 2 hours, and by all means, every bit of it you feel, and that's fine. It's 2 hours and 28 minutes is officially the runtime for this film. But I take it, listen, this is the way I look at it. We all know that Furiosa is the prequel to Fury Road, tongue twister. So when you have characters, such as Dementus, who's played by Chris Hemsworth, which we know isn't in, Fury Road. If you're going to cast Chris Hemsworth, you better get every bit of your money's worth with it, and you did. Chris completely transforms in this role as Dr. Dementus, who, let's listen, we're back in the Wastelands. It's chaotic. I don't even know. Is it important to even talk about the plot? Because beyond us getting sort of like the origin story, the background of Furiosa and Immortan Joe, and so many others that led into Fury Road, and being introduced to Dr. Dementus, like at the end of the day, it's just pure chaos. You can't trust anybody. You don't know who's on whose side. Everybody's for themselves because resources are low and survival is important. But nonetheless, like, listen, just to go back to my thought here, I'm jumping around a little bit. If you're going to have Chris Hemsworth in your film, you might want to get all your money's worth, and that's exactly what George did, because Chris' transformation into Dr. Dementus is epic. He's a star, as we know, but like, I don't know if we've ever seen Chris in a role like this, and he absolutely kills this. From the humor, from the mannerisms, I mean, the fight choreography that's in it. I mean, the emoting that he's given us at certain times. I mean, he's such a treat to watch in this film. And then I know this film is heavily marketed on Anya Taylor-Joy's performance as Furiosa, but I got to tell you that truly, to me, the star of this film is Alala Brown as young Furiosa, because you would think with Anya as your lead and the film being about Furiosa, which we know ultimately leads us into Fury Road, that Alala as young Furiosa probably is nothing but flashbacks or like pretty limited footage or show or runtime with her on screen. Listen, Homegirl's in this film for about an hour and 20 minutes, and she maximizes that time. She's fierce, she's bold, she's a star. And I recently got a chance to talk to her, and by all means, she's having such a fantastic 2024 with Sting, with this, and then with Sonic 3 coming out. A lot of, if she's not on your people to watch list, make sure that she is now. She, by all means, stands toe to toe with Chris Hemsworth for an hour and 20 minutes of this film, and she's no slack. At times, you would think that her resume is probably way longer than what it is, but that just shows you just the talent that she has. I thought Tom Burke as Jack was also a very, very strong performance as well too, towards the later part of this film, alongside of Anya Taylor-Joy as Furiosa. They definitely have their little adventures, their moments and stuff together. But yeah, listen, let's talk about everything with this film. First of all, the visuals are instantly impressive. Like, you make the Wastelands look like a place you might want to hang out, or at least visit, or maybe not. But nonetheless, it's mesmerizing. The visuals are stunning to the T, which I would suggest if you get a chance to check this out in IMAX or 4DX, do so. It is absolutely worth it, by all means. The CGI is straight up heavy in this film. There's very early indications that you know just to the depth of what the CGI is going to be giving you in this film. I have made a joke upon leaving the screening that it felt like there were scenes where they just put up this big green screen and people just stood in front of it and they just were acting, because just how some of the scenes were shot, it was just kind of like they're definitely sitting in front of a green screen, and they're not even trying to hide it, because it just, the way how it's kind of layered, you can tell like that's clearly not real behind them. And you don't even have to be nitpicking to notice that, because that's the thing. There's other scenes where the visuals look so good that you actually think they might be shooting on location, but then there's other scenes where you're like, all right, yeah, that's definitely in front of a green screen. But also going back to the production, listen, the color grading on this film is it's next level. Next level. To me, it might have to be studied by future filmmakers in the world. The color grading, from the dark, the night scenes, to the day, to like these very moody blue to red. I mean, there's a scene where Chris Hemsworth character Dementus gets hit by this like red smoke cloud, and how it's shot, I will watch that scene over and over and over, just because of just how good it is. Costume design, as you mentioned, as you would assume, are top tier. They did a really good job of the costume design, hair and makeup, all that stuff. I mean, up and down the board, the production of this film is top tier. The humor, definitely witty, sometimes dry, etc., etc. You gotta know the toning of these Mad Max films. You know, some jokes gonna land, some jokes are kind of like snuck in there on the low. If you catch it, you catch it. You know, they're not really aiming for the big punchlines, but like if you could pick up on it, like you're like, I know what you did there. It's also really cool also seeing actors reprising their character roles from Fury Road, and one to me is Nathan Jones, because I'm just a wrestling guy, you know, and I like me some Nathan Jones. So seeing Nathan Jones come back and his big statue was obviously really, really cool, and they had some really good moments in this film. I think one thing I gotta say too, that I was really, really, really looking forward to seeing Chris Hemsworth across from Immortan Joe, because the fact that these two polar juggernauts in a wasteland could potentially either be friends or foes, I was just like, what's gonna happen? And Lackey and Chris across from each other really is like a scene to watch, that I wish there was more of it, but when you do get it, you're like, oh, this feels epic. And the voice acting by lackey is, I mean, what can you say? It's menacing hearing Immortan Joe in anything he says and does. Like, you kind of feel like you need to fall in line because he's just really like a big deal. And the voice acting is, it gives you chills, you know. But with the film, I got to say, like, some of the emotion I was kind of going on is like, it was a lot of unnerving action. You just really never knew what was going to happen from scene to scene. You were just kind of on edge, like what's next, or what's the worst thing that could happen in this scene, you know? And sometimes some of these scenes got really brutal. Sometimes they kind of went in a direction you wasn't expecting, but nonetheless, you just kind of were just on edge at all times. Meanwhile, learning so much more about the Wastelands, the different fortresses, the characters and their backgrounds, and so on. And as I said, like Dementus and Immortan Joe is just one of my favorite scenes, and understanding that sort of what that means moving forward to seeing Fury Road, kind of understanding how this dynamic plays a part going forward. I haven't talked about Furiosa a lot, but let me just tell you right now that Anya, I think, is still one of those premier actors that, like, I would assume everybody is familiar with her work and understand just how good of an actor she is. Because the one thing about her, and I mean, listen, she knows how to ride on emotion. And you see it in her face, and the fact that, like, we learn about her past and what happened to her mother, because this is truly the story of her on revenge for her mother, who her mother was killed by Dementus, and she just over time just waits for her opportunity to seek revenge. But again, just understanding that Anya just has such a vast amount of emotions in just her eyes, and like when you can feel when she's sad, you can feel when she's angry, and then she's just a badass when it comes down to action. And her as the lead, I mean, I was super excited for this. I knew she was gonna carry it. And then when you kind of talk about the continuity between her and Charlize Theron, who plays Furiosa in Fury Road, I mean, there's no slack between these different ages of Furiosa, and that goes to Alala, to Anya, to Charlize Theron. Like, the continuity across the board just works. So I mean, again, and also I got to talk about how Alala and Anya damn near look alike, and they did not at all slack on the continuity of the growth of this character throughout the three actors in these two films. Like, they do a fantastic job on that. One thing I really loved about this film that I need to make sure I mention is when they have the time jump in this, they did it in such a tasteful way that I wish more people would pick up on it. You don't always need the title screen of saying how much time has passed or anything of that. They did this nice, smooth transition of time that you can notice by a growth of a tree branch, that you're like, oh, some time has passed, and it felt very natural. It felt very, like, unique, and I just haven't seen it done in a way in a film like this, and I don't know, ever. But even so, I really enjoy how they handle the time jump in this. So listen, in case it's not evidently clear what this film is about, Furiosa is seeking revenge for her mother, who's killed by Dementus, and beyond that, it's pure chaos in the Wasteland, and it is truly about who is the one true ruler of the Wasteland. So that's why you can't really know who's on whose side, who's after who and their motivations. Like, there's a lot of trickery going on, but that's the chaos of this film that makes it enjoyable. And hearing the cars roar, like, if you are a gearhead, you're gonna love that. When we talk about George Miller and his cinematography, these up close shots that kind of zoom in on the face while the action is going, I love that zoom shot that they hit. From character to character, getting up close and personal as things are occurring. They just nail them to the T. Pure, and as we like to say, classic George Miller coming back, giving us our favorite scenes from our favorite moments from scene to scene. But I enjoyed this film. I listen, it's long, you feel it. There's times where it felt like it went much longer than it should have. But I listen, when you got this stack of a cast, why not juice every moment that you can, like I would. And then ultimately when you get to the credits will bridge the two films together to the point that they even show you footage from Fury Road. So yeah, watch all the way through. That way you know that this film instantly ends where Fury Road and where in Fury Road where Furiosa is introduced. You also got some cameos and some characters in this film that you can be like, I know who you are. I know what that was, and so on. So like, yeah, keep your eyes glued for the Easter eggs and whatnot in this film. But I can't wait to own this film on 4K Blu-ray. I need to have this at home so I can watch it over and over and over. And I probably will go see this in the theaters again because it is a good popcorn flick, good action, good acting. And then again, you're just at the edge of your seat because you just don't know what's going to occur and happen. One moment you think it's going to go one way and it ends up going the next, and you just won't be ready for it. So for me, Furiosa Mad Max Saga is a absolute must watch. So you got to get out in the theaters and check it out because yes, it is in theaters May 24th. Get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, your excitement. What is next in the Mad Max Saga? What are we going to get next? I want more. And I don't know how long it's going to take. It's been too long since Fury Road. But damn it, let's get back to work because I need more because I enjoyed this one. But until then, y'all jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about this one. And we'll be back for more reviews very soon.
Ridiculous.